It's getting close to the end of November, and the Orange Army is making its first appearance of the season. We've got our shotguns sighted in, so let's see what happens. So it doesn't take too long to get things going here the first morning. We have this 6-pointer come in. He's a nice 6. He's not big enough to shoot really, but he is cruising looking for a doe, and it's not going to be the only time we see him throughout the week. This one stand in particular doesn't seem to get going until the rut starts, so we do our best to save it and kind of hold off and not hunt it much until the first shotgun season rolls around, and then we set up and hunt it pretty hard for a few days. And what do you know, for the second day in a row, the 6-pointer shows back up again, and I'm starting to think we've got him patterned.
It's been pretty slow this morning. I seen 5 does early to the south of me, and they cut on through our food plot and left. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. I mean, I've heard several gunshots around us, but not as many as you normally hear. Hey, here's one. Here's one right here.
Morning 3 rolls around, and this stand has continued to stay hot for us. The movement's been picking up later and later in the day, and this morning is no exception. Things are just getting right. I've got different bucks coming from each direction, and then all of a sudden I hear a bunch of crashing.
Unbelievable, dude. Well, just when things were getting good, I had this little buck come quarter me like this, another buck come in front of me, I hear something running, look up, it's the deer that I just saw. It takes off running for no reason. I'm like, what's going on? I look over and there's 2 dark objects coming running along. I'm like, what is this? I didn't know what it was. Looked up, it's the dog. There's 2 dogs running. I don't know whose dogs they are. They just come running up the ridge, run that deer off. They run up the ridge even farther, and then I see 2 or 3 tails that I don't even know. Deer that I don't even know where they came from. I don't know what deer they were, but they're running the deer off this morning, and I mean, things are just now getting good. It's frustrating.
I was obviously pretty frustrated with the dogs running around, running the deer off, but that's just something that happens here in Southern Illinois. We hunt properties that are typically only 10 to 20 acres at the most, and I was frustrated enough, I just decided to get down and let my dad return to the stand later on that night, hoping that the dogs were out of the area.
tree right here. We passed up probably. It's $5 now out of it. We're still waiting to see if there's any bigger ones that moved in. That was a good call there, right there. I was gonna bust him, and he got a little bit of my scent right there at the end.
If this 6-pointer shows up again next year 3 times in a row, you better believe he's getting signed, because we're tired of seeing him around our stand, and we are looking for bigger bucks, and he needs to get out of the way. The first shotgun season comes to a close. It wasn't successful for us. We had that 6-pointer running around, and that's about it. But November 25th rolls around, and I wake up to good news and bad news at the same time. The good news is my dad's killed a buck. It's on the ground. But the bad news is he doesn't get it on camera. Once you get in the grind of going day in and day out, you eventually wear out, and I'm laying in bed. I'm being lazy. I should have been out filming for my dad, but I decided to sleep in, and instead of waking me up, he decided to go out, and he leaves the camera at home, and this is just what happens. I mean, it happens every time you don't bring the camera with you. It seems like you get something incredible that happens, and you miss it, but that's just part of it. We come in, we film the recovery, and we get the buck all hauled out. And we decided to take it easy for the rest of the afternoon. I've got an alumni basketball game to get ready for. And my dad decides to go back out. And once again, he's going to be filming for himself to see if he can't sign the second recruit of the day.
I've been setting this stand here off and on for the last 2 months, once a week. Very seldom twice in a row. But I come in here the other night and I had a rear pig and come by me here. He was wanting to come. There's a tight spot right here. There's very little shooting lane. It's so thick below me. And last night I sat here again, and there was 3 bucks come by it. Same exact trail. I've got them narrowed down to a little bitty pinch spot right here. I've come in quick. I got here at 1:30 and moved both my stands 50, 75 yards this way, and I just now got set up. So I got about 15, 20 minutes to spare. They usually get here right at 4 and a little after, so I'm gonna get ready.
And just like clockwork, this buck shows up right on time, right where he was at the night before, and he's gonna make his way through this thick junk, and my dad's gonna have to squeeze off a shot in the only open area he's got.
Last night I self-filmed here, and you can kind of see I was cut off at the end. I really didn't do an interview after. It's getting dark, and I shot a pretty good deer right here, and I didn't want to push him. My arrow, you can see my arrow laying right over here. I seen the glow knot fall out of it, and we went back and looked at it. It looks like it's good, but we left him all night. Come back where we can see a little better this morning. It's good and cold, so we're going to try to follow him up, try to find him here. There last night. There's only 4 inches broke off in him. It looks like the blood's all up to right there. I'm hoping it was in that far at least. There's a lot of blood right now. went about maybe 50 yards. Had to circle back around there. First deer on camera ever. An actual kill scene. It wasn't beautiful, but we had to break the ice.
We only had to track the deer about 50 to 100 yards, which was surprising at first. From the night before, we weren't sure if it was a lethal shot or not. And you know, the longer we looked at it and the amount of blood that was on the ground, we decided that he couldn't be too far. So we went ahead and pushed on and ended up finding him. And it was a pretty cool moment for my dad, who got to sign his first recruit on film. And it made November 25th special for him, because that was a special day. I mean, he got 2 bucks in one day, which doesn't happen very often, maybe once in a lifetime.
Yesterday was the 25th, the day after Thanksgiving, and I killed 2 bucks yesterday. I've recovered this one this morning, but I shot him last night. And one I shot yesterday morning was a nice 9-pointer, older deer than this, and I didn't get him on film because basically I was lazy. I'd hunted a lot of mornings and I was tired, and I got up kind of late, went behind my house and didn't take the camera, which was a big mistake. And I couldn't pass him. He was a nice deer, an older deer. And so I knew this deer was around Wednesday. He'd come by me, he had a broken off tie, and I thought, well, he looks like he's a borderline shooter, but I'm going to try to get him because, you know, I've been around, and the season's winding down, the rut's winding down, and I went for him, and luckily he came by, gave me a 15-yard shot. He's in a lot of thick stuff. I think the footage, you can tell we shot, you know, made the good shot. I got a lot of rough, you know, just rough footage of him, but it worked out. I really wasn't sure where I hit him. I thought I hit high, and I could, you know, when he run off, the arrow fell out. I could see the glow knock, and he'd broke it off, and that kind of worried me because I'm not used to shooting deer and the arrow breaking off like that. I like to, usually I try to shoot, you know, far enough back in the ribs it goes through him, and this one hit the opposite shoulder. He snapped it off and he took off. We come back in this morning just to make sure, and you know, he was dead last night, and found him right off. He run 50 yards, so it was a good night.
November 25th was a special day for Charlie Zeigler as he signs 2 3-star recruits, becoming the first team member to sign a recruit this season. Be sure to check us out on all social media, as well as hit the subscribe button below.